Well, hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It's Sunday, March 15, 2026. Great to be with you. If this is your very first time watching the show, well, welcome and thank you. If you've been on the show many times, of course, welcome back. It's always great to have you here. I always appreciate people that enjoy the quality of my content. So, really, really do appreciate that. We're going to get this show kicked off here in just a moment. But again, I do want to thank you for joining me. And I want to let you know that if you're thirsty or you're hungry, feel free to go grab yourself something like an RO water or something like that, and or a snack, something healthy or not. That's totally up to you. Don't forget to check out. You can see my hat. Those of you that are just listening, it actually says believemeachieve.com. That's where you can get my short form content, long form content, articles, reels, and so much more. So definitely check that out. All right, guys. Without any further ado, guys, let's get this show kicked off. Are you ready? I know that I'm ready. I hope you're ready. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Inspirations for Your Life show. And I am your host, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, graduate student, passionate lifelong learner. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be an author in just a few months. Really excited about that. This, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know, it is Series 5, Show 12, Episode number 2. You know, when your vision sharpens your decision, um, things improve. This week focuses on learning to see things um, I'm going to say, a little bit deeper. And I think that's an important thing for us to realize, to have better courage and to live with integrity and purpose. Strong lives are built when awareness replaces assumption and intentional choice replaces drift. I think that's an important thing that a lot of people they don't realize that. When we think about this, thinking about integrity, thinking about the purpose, our strong lives, they're built when awareness replaces assumption and intentional choices replace the drift. Calm thinking, ladies and gentlemen, improves decisions. Again, Series 5, Show 12, Episode number 2. Number 1, clear direction beats rushed action. Every single time, hands down. Okay? Clear direction, clear purpose, intention beats the rushed action and the bad results that come from it. Number 2, steady focus builds progress. Steady focus builds progress. A little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Doesn't have to be a lot. That causes momentum to start. And then confidence gets built. And then you just keep doing it over and over again like it's second nature. Number 3, guys. Patience improves timing. Stability strengthens leadership. And I think that's something a lot of people miss in life, that is something that's very, very true. Stability strengthens our leadership. And that's a very important point that, again, a lot of people, they just kind of miss that. They kind of forget, where it is or where it's going or things like that. I think that's a very important thing for us to understand. All right. Number 5, guys, consistent effort produces results. Okay. Consistent effort produces results. And again, it's not about having a lot of effort. It's about having consistent effort. That's a very, very important thing that I think a lot of people, don't realize. They don't realize what it is or how it works. They just get all kind of, confused. And I think that can be something that a lot of people maybe get stumped on. Number 6, guys, calm minds think clearly. Calm minds think clearly. Number 8, a steady pace builds endurance. A steady pace builds endurance. So why not start with that steady pace now? Start getting strong, and you'll be very happy with the level of success that you are actually starting to elicit. Number 9, guys, quiet reflection improves judgment. Quiet reflection improves judgment. Number 10, guys, balance protects momentum. Balance protects momentum. And again, a lot of people don't realize what momentum is or why things are a certain way. And I think that's because they don't understand their core. They don't understand what's going on in life, and I think that's a big problem for a lot of people. Um, they want to go one way, but then for whatever reason, they just get lost in the shuffle. And that shuffle says, okay, I want to go this way, but I can't figure it out. So because of that, I'm just going to go any old way. And that's not good, right? Balance is a key to success. Number 11, focus strengthens direction. Discipline, number 12, supports progress. Our discipline supports our progress, which ultimately supports our success. Like when we get into a pattern of doing things, we actually enjoy what we're doing over and over again. And that creates longevity for success. Number 13, guys, stability. Stability builds reliability. Stability builds reliability. Stability builds reliability. Number 14, guys, calm decisions reduce mistakes. You might have gone to people before and they feel like, they're trying to burn the candle at both ends. They're working at solving a challenge, but all they're doing is creating more chaos. And people are like, this person's nuts. This person's not organized. And they just start going downhill. Calm decisions reduce mistakes. Number 14, when we are calm, that spirit in us of being calm allows us to move forward with basically less or fewer mistakes. I think that's an important thing to realize. Number 15, guys, consistency builds confidence. Consistency builds confidence. Okay? Consistency builds confidence. Focus reveals opportunity. Focus reveals opportunity. Focus reveals opportunity. And our focus helps us to go a certain way, but it gets us to see a perspective that maybe we didn't notice before. Something that might be preventing us from doing something. Okay? That is our true focus. Our true focus happens when we understand that. But it's not something that will just happen on a dime, right? Number 16, guys, focus reveals opportunity. Focus reveals opportunity. Number 17, guys, balanced effort sustains energy. Balanced effort sustains energy. Now, I'm not saying that effort is going to always be easy for you, but if you're in alignment with effort, you're going to find that the flow is going to be much more natural. Okay? That's an important thing to understand. Understanding what that means. And what that means is that we all have a choice when we move forward. And staying balanced is something that we're constantly doing, the equilibrium. Like in our own body, I don't know if you guys know this, your ears are very responsible part of your body, not just to help you hear, but to keep your balance. Your basically your inner ear, where your equilibrium gets controlled, the fluid of your ears, if they're not correct, well, you won't be able to walk very well. Your balance will be off. You might even feel nauseous. So balance is key, not just in everything we do, but even in our operations of how our body works. Number 18, guys. Steady work builds success. Steady work builds success. It's not about you saying, I'm going to be steady today because I feel like it. You want to be steady all the time. It sets up a core foundation. And that core foundation allows you to move forward. Number 19, guys. Calm thinking sharpens strategy. Calm thinking sharpens strategy. Number 20, guys. Patience strengthens progress. Patience strengthens progress. Patience strengthens progress. But a lot of people get impatient because things are not happening now. So they decide they're going to get frustrated themselves and others, and it's going to do nothing. Just impede your progress or stop you from moving forward. Number 21, guys. Reliable habits create stability. When we have good habits, whether they're study habits, exercise habits, nutritional habits, relational habits, they set a standard in our life. And they allow us to see and experience that this is the kind of life we want. I've said this before. Failing to plan is planning to fail. 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 That's it. Hands down. Number 22, guys. Thoughtful action builds momentum. Thoughtful action. Not this, haphazard action. Thoughtful. When you elicit an action, do you always make sure that action is something you'll be welcomed, or do you just do whatever you want? Most people just do what they want and they figure, well, I'll deal with it later because it's easier to ask for forgiveness and permission. I don't agree with that. I think that's a very haphazard way of not showing accountability. We've talked about that in the past. Number 22, guys, thoughtful action builds momentum. And if thoughtful action builds momentum, that means the process will get easier each time. Number 23, direction grows with clarity. The more that we understand something, I don't care whether we're talking about our schoolwork, whether we're talking about stuff at our job, or even things in relationships. When we understand something, it becomes clearer. Okay? The direction that we need to take, often defining our purpose, is shown to us when clarity becomes known. But clarity is not always part of the equation when we start because we don't know what it is we don't see. We don't know. So we move on and we figure that this is the way we want to go, but we don't really go anywhere because we don't know what we're looking for. Hopefully that makes sense. Number 24, guys, focus improves performance. Let me see if I can give you an example on this. If you're looking at an image, and when you take the lens and you focus it, right? You can see the image. How about an electron microscope? When we focus, we can see what we're going to look at. And we can understand what things are and what they relate to. If things are clear or cloudy, it's like, well, I think it looks like this, but we're not sure. A lot of times we go through life with not having a clear picture. And I don't always mean that in our eyes. I mean in our perception, things we hear, see, touch, taste, smell, and feel. We don't get a proper sense of clarity. We're not able to focus because we don't know what to focus. We don't know whether it's the ring on the top of the microscope, whether it's the one on the bottom. We don't know. All we know is that it's blurry or that it's unclear. But what we are supposed to make clear, that sometimes takes some time to figure out. So focus does improve performance, but it's also another tactic to understand not only how to focus, but what to focus. Let's take an example. Let's say you're playing baseball, right? And the coach says, focus. If you're hitting the ball, it's probably obvious that he wants you to focus on the um, the ball, the pitcher, right? If you're on base and he says focus, maybe you don't know what that means. Maybe he wants you to watch the pitcher, watch the players so that you can steal the next base. He says focus, focus, right? But he doesn't define what focus is. And I think that's a problem with a lot of leaders. They don't do this intentionally. They know the game plan, they know the playbook. And when they say focus and you don't focus, they're all frustrated. Focus, focus, focus. On what, coach? On what, coach? And they'll say, on the game, on the game. And you'll look back and say, what part of the game? The pitcher, the catcher, whatever. They need to be a little more, how can I say, graceful and understanding and explain things better so people don't become frustrated when they say focus. And you stand there with, like, a deer in the headlights. Focus on what? Focus improves performance, but we have to know how to focus and what to focus. And what does it mean to be focused? Does focus mean that I now see two rings on the microscope? Does focus mean that I now see a color? Does focus mean that something's not blurry? What does focus mean? I'm so glad that you asked me that question. And we're going to go to our good friends, yes, at Merriam-Webster. And I'm going to tell you from them, what does focus mean? All right. According to Merriam-Webster, focus is a noun. Okay. A center of activity, attraction, or attention. All right. But you can also say focusing. He's not focusing. Right. The state or condition permitting clear perception of an understanding. That's the one I'm talking about. Adjustment for distinct vision. A point at which rays, as of light, heat, or sound, converge, or from which they diverge or appear to diverge. The point where the geometrical lines or the prolongations conforming to the rays diverging from or converging toward another point intersect and give rise to an image after reflection by a mirror or refraction by a lens or optical system. The point of convergence of a beam of particles such as electrons, one of the fixed points that which the corresponding directrix defines the contact section, a localized area of disease, or the chief site of a generalized disease or infection, the place of origin of an earthquake or moonquake. Focus is also a verb. And Webster says to cause to be concentrated, to adjust the focus, to bring into focus. A big one is concentrate. What the coach is really saying to you is concentrate. But my question is on what, coach? What do you want me to focus on? There's so many things on the field. I need a little bit of guidance here, coach. Sometimes they'll say, on the game. Yeah, coach, but what part of the game? I told you I'm not an expert at baseball. On the player, on the pitcher, and they shouldn't get aggravated by explaining that to you. Number 25, stability builds trust. So when we're able to focus something, we build trust, we build confidence in a situation, in a discipline, a subject, a topic. This happens a lot in college, especially in graduate studies. When we're able to focus and we're able to delineate something clearly, we get that aha moment, the moment where we're not just studying, the moment when the tools, the language is becoming ours. Number 26, guys, discipline supports achievement. But discipline is not something you just do overnight. Discipline is something that we have to understand. What am I disciplined to do? Am I disciplined to get up early, to go to bed early? Am I disciplined to do exercise? Am I disciplined to eat nutritiously? Am I disciplined to be on time at practice? Am I disciplined to um, throw the ball a certain way? Am I disciplined to watch the catcher, to watch the pitcher, to watch their eyes, to watch their body, how they stand? Number 27, guys. Calm focus drives progress. Calm focus drives progress. And that's an important one. Number 28, consistency fuels success. Consistency fuels success. But how can we ever learn focus or consistency if we actually don't understand what the heck we're focusing on or why we're focusing on something? Right? I think that's an important point that many people just don't get. How do I focus? Where do I focus? What does it mean to be focused in this situation? I need some parameters here. Can you help me? Number 29, direction leads far. Steady directions leads you to go far, meaning it leads you to go far from the point you're at to where you want to be, so you're closer to success. Think about the last time somebody said to you, focus. Maybe they were trying to get you to stop daydreaming and read the material or focus on the board. Right? Take your attention and put all of it on this. Mark, focus. Chris, focus. I might even say something like, hey, Chris, focus on what I'm saying. When I sense a student or I sense someone is not following me, I try to get in their head and figure out, where did I lose you? Okay, Chris, so how far apart are we? Do you understand what I mean about electrons? No. Okay, do you know what matter is? Yes. Good. Now, do you understand how matter connects with electrons? No. All right, good. Now we know where to go. A lot of teachers and a lot of instructors and even leaders and speakers, they assume you know all this. My philosophy in whatever I teach or whatever I give a keynote on, I assume you don't know this. I give you an example and I say, hey, how many can relate to this? If you can't, then I realize I'm going the wrong way and I need to make the example clearer. Steady direction will lead you far. When somebody said to me the very first time, and it wasn't sports, focus, the first thing I thought about was, okay, I've got to concentrate on the game. Now, I was playing soccer. I think I used this analogy once before. And the hardest thing for me in soccer was not getting the goal. It was scoring the goal when I legally could because I kept going off sides. The coach never explained to me what offsides meant. He just assumed I knew. Thankfully, I had a good friend on the team that said, hey, John, you're a great kicker, but you keep going off sides. Off what? I don't. Oh, hang on. I get your point. I understand. You don't get this. I don't know what offsides means. I had the same problem. Hang on. Give me a minute. Let me get my pen. And they draw something, and then they explain it. And when somebody relates to that similar situation that you were in, you're like, oh, I get it. But it didn't happen the first time. It took a few iterations to explain to me what focus situation. Because focus can mean many different things, from paying attention, generally, to paying attention to a very specific detail. Think of focus in the words of paying attention. Put all your attention on one thing. If I told you right now and you were watching the show, focus on my hat and all the beautiful colors in believemeachieve.com. If you're not watching the show and you're just listening, if I said, focus on the tonality of my voice and how that's making your ears feel, focus on the diction of each word that I say. Focus now on the time that I choose to pause between the words, and you will see it's getting longer. Now it is getting shorter. So you get my point. We have to know what the heck we're focusing on. Does that shed a little bit of light? Because so many times people teach things and they presume that you understand how a cog holds a wheel together. They presume that, which they shouldn't do. Or they presume that you understand what the widget is that holds the thingamajig to the thingamabob together. The what? Exactly. It's confusing. So we have to talk in terms of the other person's interest. Dale Carnegie said it very well many years ago. Talk in terms of the other person's interest, and you will find that they gravitate, they learn, they respond, and they build rapport. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It is always such a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be with you here on the Inspirations for Your Life show. I hope that you will go and check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. That's short form, long form, articles, reels, and so much more. And the next time someone says the word focus to you, and it's unclear, you can look back and say, okay, on what? On what? Yes, what specifically would you like me to focus on or pay attention to? You'll get an answer. And hopefully, you'll be able to connect with what they want. Have a great one, everyone, and be well.